So I'm with Jayson Webb from Telsa Media and Telagus, and he is an expert in all things marketing. And today we're going to talk about the best way for small businesses to spend money on marketing for their business. Hey Jayson, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, Dan. Thanks for the invite.
Perfect. So what do we think? What's the best way when you've got a limited budget, that you're a small company, what's the best way to spend money to get really bang for your bucks in marketing?
I think, big companies spend money on market research. There's no reason why, as a small company or even a startup, you can't do your own market research amongst your own group of peers and look at your competitors, people that maybe you aspire to be, and look at what they're doing. How do they position their brand? What is it they're saying about themselves? So, you're not talking about copying, but you're talking about adjusting your thoughts about the audience that you're targeting, and really making an effort to make your brand look as presentable as possible. So do a little bit of research into the specifics of your audience. Do that first before you do anything.
Great. So first, market research, competitive analysis. What's next? What's next?
Next thing is get your brand in front of people for free. And lots of people come to me and they want to know about marketing budgets and all that, but there's many places on the internet where you can get your brand in front of suitable customers for free. There are marketplaces, there are various different audiences that are there sitting there, and you can get your certain Facebook groups, for instance, allow your business to post every Wednesday. There's various different blogs that you can get your website on, and there's various different places where people are asking questions about whatever it is they're looking for. Might be a new driveway, might be to get their hair done, or it might be the best restaurant, and you can actually get your business in front of those people. So think about yourself as the customer and do those search terms and start looking at where those results appear, and think, well, hang on, I could get myself there and do it for free. Don't start spending money on marketing until you have explored all the free areas first.
Brilliant advice. Love that. So what's next? That's great. So you've done a bit of competitor analysis. You've kind of explored all the free options, which sounds like there's many, and that's great. Then what? What should you do next?
I think, mimicking what large companies do is control your data. Collect your information of people that have interacted with you and respectfully message those people, once a month with an email. If you want to do SMS, there's loads of SMS platforms now. Have some sort of interaction with that audience regularly enough to keep them in your, sort of like brand's position. And therefore, after you've maybe been in business a year or 2 years, you're going to have quite a nice sizable database to market from. Again, that drives your cost per lead down and avoids having to spend with the big sort of advertisers out there.
That's really great advice. Data management is so important, and it's amazing that it can slip through your fingers really easily, and it's like anything, it adds up. All these kind of individuals kind of add up to a sizable database over not that long a time.
You don't need to invest hundreds of pounds in a fancy CRM. You can just put it on a simple spreadsheet when you start, and as you get bigger, you can then move that maybe into a CRM.
Perfect. No, that's really great advice. So once you've done that, when should you start thinking about, because this all sounds like it's relatively free, basically. When should you think about actually kind of using an agency or spending a bit of money, and then what should that first spend be externally?
I think that's great, because I think that most people find agencies, when they're a really small business, a little bit intimidating. We've built our agency based on very transparent sort of communication. I think they should speak to an agency straight away, and they should start getting some free advice. We would give out free advice all day long. We're only going to be in existence if you're in existence going forward. So we want to help you, and that advice that I've given previously is what I would advise a small business. Once they understand who their audience is and they can target that person online, then they can talk about spending a small amount of money each day and growing their customer base. That's typically where we would take them. We would say, okay, there is a form of traffic that you could get to your website, and that can come from this source or this source, and it will cost you this much per day. And then as you grow in confidence, you can increase your budgets from those audiences.
That's such great advice. I mean, people get that wrong. They kind of almost, pour money into something when they're not really sure who their audience is. So it's what you're saying is, spend a bit of time, work out who your audience is. And only when you know who that audience is, then you start kind of scaling that and investing in that marketing.
Just keep asking for feedback. Ask your friends, ask your family, but, also ask everyone, like literally just keep asking and getting that feedback and sort of, work out how do you sell your product effectively to those people that perhaps are not defined enough for you.
Perfect. Jayson, that's it. We're out of time. You probably heard the alarm. Thank you so much.
Brilliant.
Really appreciate it. Thank you.
Awesome, Dan. Well done.